Presented by Horns and Hooves Entertainment, you're watching Bob Hansen, Sean O'Malley, Rob Hazu, Tom Jack, and Adam Fitzgerald. You still up? Live. It's Buffalo After Dark.
Hey everybody, welcome to Buffalo After Dark. It is Wednesday, December 17th. We're already halfway through the month. A lot of stuff to talk about. Of course, I'm Tom. Bob, how you doing?
I'm good. Can I drown my feelings?
Yeah, absolutely.
How hard was that for you to shut the fuck up for like 2 minutes?
It wasn't that bad. I mean, it's not as ugly as his Ryan's hair.
Oh
my God.
Oh, man. Ryan Coggill, he's back in the Lion's Den here from Broviet Union Sports. Shoka Trivia, how you doing?
Man, I was doing really good until I got here, and then I remembered I would have to put up with Bobby for a couple of hours, and then I just wanted to smash my head into my desk. But I also enjoy being here, and Bobby knows that I love him, so thanks for having me back on.
I mean, that's probably why.
Jack Eichel brought me here. Let's just say that. Jack Eichel brought me back to
We're
this
going to
place.
get into that later. That'll be our hot box tonight, so we'll get into that. Hey, Luffy, how much weed you smoking, and how you doing with that?
I've been pretty low key tonight. I smoked a little bit, but I want to try to stay like head level when it comes to like the podcast. So I'm on top of like comebacks when it comes to Bobby, which wouldn't take much, but yeah, here we are.
Oh man, sounds good, guys. So guess what? We do have a little bit of breaking news that we're going to talk about, and one of the big things that happened actually earlier today is apparently there is mutual interest between J.J. Watt, who's probably one of the hottest free agents in the NFL, and the Buffalo Bills.
Well, you know what? I'll start this off by saying he's not the hottest free agent. He's not. He is a good pick. We're damn well sure. But my boy that I want the most, if I don't get Zach Wilson, it's going to be Deshaun Watson. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, I got a lot to say on that in a bit.
Yeah, Bobby, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you shut the fuck up.
Bobby, go for it, man.
All right. Well, my opinion about the whole J.J. Watt situation is that I like the idea. Give him a 1-year deal for about maybe 10 to 15 million. See how he does, and if they pan out, then let him go. That's simple as that. But I think he would definitely upgrade the defensive line because that's been an issue throughout the playoffs. Is they needed someone to get to the quarterback, and J.J. Watt is that one guy that can instantly get to the quarterback.
Yeah, fuck me. I like the guy. He's a fucking good player by like all means. And his reputation is where it's at, but don't pay the guy $10 million a year, man. For 1 year, don't pay him $15 million. That's a waste.
I mean, it's for
sign him to a long-term deal, man. Sign him to a 3-year deal at least. Oh yeah, get the value out of him, man. Get the value.
No way.
Here's the thing.
Go for it, Ryan.
He's only gonna want a 1 to 2 year deal, and I know that a lot of people got scared when they saw the $17 million price tag that Cleveland was putting on him for their offer. Here's the thing: Michael Lombardi, former NFL GM, was talking about this on Pat McAfee's show the other day, and he said, "Don't listen, don't pay attention to any of the conversation about money or the cap when it comes to J.J. Watt, because none of it matters." And I'll tell you why it matters. J.J. Watt is not going to Green Bay. Green Bay is only in the conversation because he's from Wisconsin. That's the only thing Green Bay has on him. A.
Why not? He may as well just go home. I mean,
Packers are in cap held though, Bob.
B. Pittsburgh. He's not going to Pittsburgh because why would he? Oh, his brothers play there? That's great. They're also $30 million over the cap.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh couldn't afford to pay him a dime.
Yeah, you get rid of Big Ben Roethlisberger, who's making $41 million the entire calendar year.
Hold on. They're not going to get rid of Big Ben. They already said today that they're going to examine the situation, but they always say that they're going to examine the situation, and they always bring him back on a pay cut, which it doesn't matter because the man was washed up 7 years ago.
Well, I can certainly say with that statement, it's all boom, nothing but explosions of bullshit.
No, but like
Hold on. He will take the vet minimum. We don't have to pay him 17. We don't even have to pay him 10. He will take the vet minimum to come play for who he thinks is a contender. It doesn't matter if Cleveland offers him $50 million for 1 year. He will take the vet minimum to go to where he considers the best opportunity. He's 31. He's certainly not the player that he was in his quote-unquote prime, but he's not bad. And yeah, sure, the knock against him is that he's injury prone, but that's what happens when you're the only player for the only player outside of Deshaun Watson in the entire Houston Texans organization, because Jack Easterby is trying to pray you guys into a freaking championship. He will take the vet minimum to go somewhere for a year or two that he thinks he can go get a ring because he's 31 and he's ring chasing. We can give him, I don't know what the vet minimum is, so somebody can point that out to me. He'll take it to go to Buffalo if that's what he thinks gets him the best opportunity to get a Super Bowl. We were a game away.
Plus, on the first mentioning of this, he tweeted out that he had interest with the Buffalo Bills. So it says something to say if he tweets that on his own account to say, "Hey, I'd love to play for the Bills," or whatever he said, it goes to show that he's willing to go play for the Bills. So
yeah,
I don't know about him tweeting. I do know that out of all the recruitment tweets that got sent out, he only liked 2 of them, and it was New Orleans, which is I said 100 million over the cap. Somebody corrected me, and they're like 80 million over the cap, which it doesn't matter. It's still a crap ton of money over the cap. Yeah. You couldn't fire anybody. You couldn't fire the entire team and still find enough cap space to bring in JJ Watt. No. From the Bills. I'm not saying that it's like a for sure thing. Obviously, Cleveland is on the up and up. They had a good season last year. So I mean, obviously, don't take these other teams out of the equation. That said, though, also keep in mind that 12 teams that have expressed interest is not the same thing as teams that actually put an offer on the table and are in the running. So it's not that the 12 teams thing is good for pumping the numbers up for pay in the league, but it doesn't mean it could be Buffalo and Cleveland. It could be down to only those 2. You're only going to have 2 ever that are in serious consideration for big name free agents like Deshaun Watson or now JJ Watt.
Right. And actually, one of the things that came out today is when they mentioned the mutual interest. That was actually reported through CBS Sports. So, I mean, it is getting some national coverage on there. Honestly, I think Watt would be a really nice upgrade for the defense. It'll definitely help give us at least some better protection on the pass rush. And knowing that he has that capability to really make that impact on the game. I mean, when you figure who we have currently, I mean, it's going to be a nice addition, and it's continuing to build through depth, and it's going to continue to help. It should help us on paper still continue to roll. I mean, considering where we were last season, how we finished, I mean, to get to the AFC Championship and then lose to Kansas City, who got their ass handed to them in the Super Bowl. I mean, it literally, I mean, we're right there. So having those few additional key players, it can certainly help. Plus, actually, think about it this way. If J.J. Watt were to come to the Bills, think about all the attention that the Bills will be getting now with players that actually want to be here. So then the other thing I look at it on the flip side, yeah, it's great to have Watt. I would love to have him on this team. But then if you look at all the people that he could bring in, the thing that I would be concerned about is what happens to the cap, and especially how we'd have to manage that around. Bean's been very good at that. But if you're getting multiple players of that caliber to come in, and you have to look at Josh Allen's going to need a big payday. Trey White, they did at the right time, so I'm glad about that. Stephon Diggs, he'll get extended. You look at everyone that's going to be coming in. I mean, that's the one thing that I would be more concerned about, looking at it more of 2 to 3 years down the line, what we'd have to do. But he'd be a great addition, no doubt.
I'm honest to God not that worried about the cap because, like I said, we're not in a great cap position right now, and that's been the main conversation topic when it comes to Watt. But away, all the pieces are pretty much there on offense except for running, which we're hoping to address somehow in the offseason.
Yeah.
Whether through the draft or through free agency. Honest to God, I think it's more of an O-line fix than it is an actual running back fix, but we can get to that after. It's way more of you need to not put us in cap hell and restrict the cap, but you need to spend that money now to get that one final, the final one or two pieces. You were a game away. If you're not spending it now, look, prime example, reaches the NFC Championship, loses. Everybody goes, oh, well, they just need a couple of offensive weapons to actually put around Rodgers. They make it to the Super Bowl and win. Gets to the NFC Championship again, loses because they instead decided to use a first-round pick on a quarterback that now, after an MVP season, they're not even projecting is going to start. They're now looking at giving Rodgers a contract extension. So do not let us become, and I am sure that Bean will not let us become this year's Green Bay team. So I am not at all worried about the cap. That being said, I have seen too many Bills go, okay, well, we get him, let's get rid of Hughes. Why do you want to do that? Has the goal not been since McDermott and Bean came to the Bills to find somebody to bring equal pressure on the opposite side of Hughes so that you have pressure coming from both sides? Has that not been the ultimate goal?
The problem is with the Bills, and I'm not even like literally been watching football for fucking 3 years, and I can see it plain as day. And the thing that's missing the most is the offensive line is so. And it's like it's actually hilarious that like a team can be that good. Just imagine how good it could be if they had a good offensive line.
And so that's a perfect thing to bring up. The offensive line improved from a standpoint of protecting Allen, but what we didn't see this year was an O-line that was suited for the run game. So exactly. And I know that the run game is a hot topic, and a lot of people are like, well, Moss, more so Singletary, but Moss's name has been thrown out there a couple of times as like not being it. Yeah. If you go back and you watch the tape, essentially what the O-line did is they grouped to try like as many people as they possibly could. They didn't open up spaces for the running backs to get through, and the majority of the runs were like inside runs. They were not outside runs. So you're grouping everybody together. There's no holes, and then you're sending Singletary into the backside of his own lineman, and you're not getting any yardage out of it. Like, of course, you're not going to get any yardage out of it. So I think that's why I said I think it's more of an offensive line issue than it is necessarily a running back issue, because Singletary should not go from where he was in his first year, his rookie year, to what production. But you can, if you actually look at the whole board, you'll see a difference in how the O-line reacted at the line of scrimmage after that ball is snapped versus in his first year, his rookie year, versus how they did it this past year.
But even like in the first round against the Colts, it was literally embarrassing to see how bad the defensive line did against Taylor. Yeah. And Taylor tore them the fuck up the whole game.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, that's just the Bills' defensive line was not suited for the run. And it showed how much Starr was a big part of that. But that said, I suppose your depth on the defensive side for run blocking and stopping the run is non-existent. So you can bring Starr back all you want, but if Starr goes out again, if COVID's still a thing and he opts out, if he gets injured, you need to bring people in. So possibly a rookie that you draft, possibly somebody in free agency, which I honest to God don't think that the Bills are going to make a big splash in free agency, let alone any splashes in free agency. Like, I think they're going to avoid it as much as possible. But I think that comes from having depth in most places, A, and B, not having that cap space, depending on how it gets his extension. So,
Yeah, I mean, we saw it, just like as you mentioned, the pass rush is one of the worst in the league. So, I mean, absolutely anything we can do to help build that, that's going to be one of the key things I would look at, especially as we start going forward, and especially if we're going to be contending for a much longer time period and contending consistently. The run game, I mean, especially offensively, the run game has to improve. There's no question on that. Defensively, the pass
Oh,
rush
fuck.
really has to improve.
Yeah, I mean,
Your receiving never has nothing to be ashamed of. The wide receiver like Stephon Diggs and guys like
Hell of
improve
that.
on.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a great group of receivers. I mean, you look at Stephon Diggs, obviously, Cole Beasley, one of the best slot receivers in the game. And then Brown had a pretty decent season once he got going a little bit. I mean, we look at everybody that we've had. I mean, there's been contributions from everybody everybody in terms of our receiver group. So the receiver core itself, I'm not worried about that. We're in good shape there. But what we have to do is fix, especially that pass defense, the pass rush, because of the fact that when what we saw in that Kansas City game is their run game totally destroyed us. Had
Oh
every
yeah,
single
but
opportunity.
yeah,
We
but it
couldn't
wasn't
stop
only
them.
that though. It wasn't only that. It's that the Colts destroyed you guys in the fucking run
They
game.
did.
They destroyed you.
oh yeah,
Yeah, especially the
But-
second half of that game.
This has been like the longest time Bobby hasn't said anything.
Because I was looking to wait on a moment to speak out, but now I'm just sitting there like, yeah, let them have their fun. But what I was gonna say was, yeah, because plus Brian wouldn't shut the fuck up, so I wouldn't be able to get in.
I got a lot to say.
Yeah, come
Hey, you're only here for Eichel. You're only here for Eichel.
I'm not only here for Eichel. He brought me here, but I have
you're
a lot to
a
talk
fucking
about.
liar, and you
Well,
know it.
wait
You
until
are
I
a
bring up our
liar.
next breaking news in just a moment. But go ahead, guys.
Wait, what happened, Tom?
Oh no, I was gonna say go for it because I have another story that's coming out that I'll fill you guys in once we wrap up this part.
Yeah, we need to get past this.
Oh,
fucking
right.
topic, though. It's going on too fucking long.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is that I think I'm not against the idea of bringing in JJ Watt at all. I think it would help the defensive line, but it all just comes down to the terms of money, and it comes in terms of longevity, in terms of health. So there's gonna be on board 100% to get JJ Watt. But at the same time, you have teams like Cleveland and you have Tennessee in the mix to get JJ Watt. So it's like one day he's willing to go to Cleveland. One other day they're like, oh, we'll see what happens with the Titans. Another day it's Buffalo. Oh, they have mutual interest. So anything goes with JJ Watt, and he's taking his time. So really, to me, if they get JJ Watt, awesome. If not, then you might as well just go up for the next guy, which is future Buffalo Bill anyway, Kawan Short.
You know what? I just the only thing I like about it is the fact that JJ Watt only
Right.
And what's really interesting too, and I was gonna say this throughout the segment, is that Stephon Diggs recruited JJ Watt and said, hey, listen, big guy, I want you to come play for the Bills. And then he liked a tweet from Stephon Diggs. And then he posted up a picture of his anniversary of his wedding with his wife. And I have the picture right here. And it says, on this day 1 year ago, I had already known that it would mark the beginning of a beautiful and incredible journey with my beautiful wife. And there's a picture of her surfacing on Instagram from their chapel room before the wedding party of her and the puts a red and blue heart on the stage. So it's like he's coming to Buffalo, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Happened. Even recruiting JJ Watt. So I mean, they basically got the entire force here of the Bills Mafia going at it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if JJ went to Buffalo because that's the only logical team at this point that's to win.
Right.
Yeah, as long as you work on your fucking defensive line and your offensive line, yeah, sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What's the breaking news, Tom?
All right. So let's go to it. And Adam, you might enjoy this little thing. So according to TSN, and this is actually coming out now, and this is from... Yeah, here's a quote from him. John Tavares is not an elite point producer anymore, and he's not going to get those opportunities anymore. So it looks like, based on Tavares' slow start, he might be out in Toronto.
I don't understand how would he be out?
Yeah,
Basically,
you
they
actually,
might be
Tom,
looking at-
there's actually more to that than you're missing out. So starting where it says he's not going to start getting those opportunities anymore, he basically continues to say goes to, and he's still a good player, just needs to find different ways to perform, and he and the other people have to accept where he's at. Sorry, but another 4 years at 11 million at average value, the first thing I better hear about you is quote elite point producer. But hey, that.
Is like, is Tavares a bust in Toronto, or is it going to be where he has to significantly retool his game in order to keep his relevance?
The way I see it is like, you know what? Haters are gonna hate, and you're gonna fucking ridicule. You're in Toronto, you're in the worst market for fucking playing hockey. Fucking, you fucking get 4 points a game or 1 point every 3 games. So you might as well keep your head down and fucking just go at it. And I have nothing bad to say about Tavares, never have. So I don't know. I don't think he's doing like that bad that he needs to be ridiculed to a certain point where he's like, oh yeah, quit your career or retire or whatever. But yeah, I just it's that thing nowadays.
So basically, it's fake news. Basically, what Craig Button is pretty much stating about John Tavares right now in this season alone.
Well, I don't think it's as bad as he's making it out to be. Craig Button's a fucking douchebag, and everyone knows that. So,
I mean, he was never a Leafer anyway, so it doesn't really.
always hate on the Leafs. He's a fucking douche canoe.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I kind of see where he's coming from as far as a point production. But as far as his tenure goes, he's only been on the Leafs for like 3 years. It's not like a hazardous contract like Kyle Laposo's or something like that,
Oh,
where
God,
he's
don't get me
making.
started on Okposo's contract.
What he needs to do in the last couple of years he's been with the Leafs. So like I don't see any viability in anything that fucking Craig Button is saying because he's a goddamn douche again. But at the same time, like I wish that he could, contribute a little bit more. But he's a leader. He's not a. He's sitting back and letting the kids play basically. So I don't know. I don't see any viability to it whatsoever. So.
Because I know a lot of Toronto, because I know a lot of Leafs fans have strong opinions about John Tavares. But I said this to you a year ago or 2 years ago that I said to you that the Leafs, the smart thing they could have done was give the captaincy to Austin Matthews and not John Tavares.
Podcast at that time, because I know you went into that a little bit, and then actually I know you got to see Tavares up close on the ice because of course when he used to play for the Islanders, I know you've seen plenty of games down there, and then although I remember the one time we were on a podcast and you ended up telling us about the crowd reaction when he had his first night back in on the island.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
I was at that game, so that was a charitable moment, I will say. So to those who don't know, I went to John Tavares' first game back, and it was just nothing but booing and jeering all night long, and there was just a bunch of derogatory comments that were made by Islanders fans, and I loved it. I relished in it. But what I'm saying is,
it goes to show how classy Islanders fans are, and it's like zero class.
oh, yeah, that's also what happens when you tell the media in New York, oh, don't trade me. I want to be an Islander for life. I want to be here for a long fucking time.
You know what? You're like in the bunch of the people that can't accept the fact that the player has to leave and go to shit team.
Yeah, well, at least the Islanders made the conference finals, and that's without John.
Oh yeah. They
Although
made
Rick
the conference
DiPietro
finals.
said he was gonna be an Islander for life,
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. You have all these fucking players, and you haven't done shit. And to get to the second round,
okay.
you have to play
Hey, why don't we talk about the Sabres while we're at it?
Yeah,
There
well,
we
sure.
go.
We'll talk about the Sabres.
Yeah, let's go to the hot box
Talk about the
segment.
Sabres and how
because,
shitty
right,
they are.
I know you have been waiting for this for a while. And so I'm going to let you kick it off. I know you right now don't like Eichel, and you don't like a lot of what the Sabres are doing. So talk about it. Go for it.
Thank you very much.
As we
Here we go.
Go for it.
I don't even know where to start. Seven
you can
regulation wins in 33 games. $38.2 million worth of contracts for what is it? 18 points, 11 points so far this season.
Oh shit.
Bitch.
He's always
In
been the
post-game
vagina,
interviews,
Okay.
Eichel never finishing an NHL season. Eichel never showing any sort of leadership ability whatsoever. Never having an NHL season where he had more goals than assists. Nothing.
though.
Shitty is shitty is a compliment to what this team is.
I was going to say, should we throw
Shitty
in that
is
he
a
ran out by
compliment.
Alsma too?
What was that? Running literal GMs and coaches out of town. I'm not saying that we should trade Jack Eichel, but I'm not trade Jack Eichel as well.
Well, if you're shitting on a player when you've said there's a bitch and you're saying he's done little next to nothing.
Hold on.
All right. Let him have his piece. Let him go.
Eichel certainly has a place. Eichel certainly has a place on this team, and that's as a playmaker. He's a playmaker. He has more assists than he has goals. That's great. The problem is, outside of the goaltenders, every single I can swear on this, right? I can swear on the live stream. All right, yeah, cool. Every single fucking player on this goddamn roster is a playmaker. Nobody's a goddamn goal scorer. As much as we all hate Hutton, if we gave him a regular, a regular hockey pads and told him he was suiting up as a winger, he would have a fucking goal before Eichel put his next one in the goddamn net. It is absolutely ridiculous. Tage Thompson going to be. People are still riding the Tage train because he wasn't good before he went to Rochester. He looked mediocre at best in Rochester. Dahlin is regressing to the point that the kid's going to have a mental breakdown. Casey Middlestat has disappeared from our radars.
Oh, this is great.
I was gonna say, and don't forget, there was that person who commented on the Sabres page yesterday who said that he bought a cardboard cutout to honor his aunt who passed away, and he was asking if he could pick it up so she doesn't have to watch the misery anymore.
That is absolutely horrible. Listen to this. A ton of people, you guys saw it in the group today and yesterday. I got a bunch of shit, and everybody was like, of course you're getting shredded, and of course we're going to talk shit about you because you're stupid. Eichel's like a top 3-point getter in the league. It's fucking great. That's fantastic. You know what? I'm so happy for him, and I'm sure every night Jack Eichel goes home and he, hugs himself and, sits there on the floor of the shower and says, I get the most points in the league, more than a blah, blah, blah. That's fantastic. That's great. I'm super happy for him.
I still love the fact. I'll be better than Matthews.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you surround your one guy with 3 other rookies and John Tavares.
Yo, hold on.
Dude, come on. You can't.
I would
handle the truth.
I would take Austin Matthews over Jack Eichel because we need a pure goal scorer, and that's what Austin Matthews is. Now hold on. Let me say this thing about Eichel, and I think I'll be good.
Tell us how you
Probably
really
not.
feel.
Go for it.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yep, you have unlimited airtime, man. Go for it.
The
Yeah.
only, and again, everybody hates me. Three of on Twitter are the only ones with this opinion. Eichel can get as many goddamn points as he wants. And it doesn't matter because you know what they don't do at the end of the NHL season? They don't tally up the number of points that each player gets and then assigns that sum to the team to decide how they get into the playoffs. What they do is they look at how many points you have based off of how many games that you win. 7 regulation wins in 33 games. That's the equivalent to the Bills just giving the ball to Bass for 17 games a season and going, we're going to win off of your foot. Are you fucking kidding me? It's beyond ridiculous. Again, great. I'm super happy that he gets all the points that he absolutely wants. That's great. I got to tell you, I don't give a fuck how many points Jack Eichel could get one goddamn point a game for all I care. I care if it's goals or not. I was just on a live stream before this, and I was asked what the keys to success were for the next game for the Sabres. My response, you guys want to know? Success are putting more pucks in the opposing team's net than they put in yours.
I was going to say,
That's stating the obvious.
It's literally all that it is, and the Sabres can't even manage. How do you lose 3-0 to the? I had a friend that bet on last night's game, and he texted me after, and he's like, the Sabres couldn't even cover the spread. He said that he bet that they were going to lose by 2. They lost by 3. They suck at losing. A. B. You go back a game before that, they didn't get a shot in the third period. A shot.
Okay, I got
Not even a goal. A shot.
Yep, I got to talk about this.
What? You know what? Blame it on Kruger all you want. I'm so sick and tired, first off, of 2 things. 1, stop riding Jack Eichel's dick like he's done nothing wrong. The man's been here since 2015. If Kruger's been here since 2015 and we suck, then sure, fire him. Of course, blame it on him. Jack Eichel's been here since 2015. We haven't done anything. We haven't made the playoffs once. And you're telling me that he's not the problem? Of course he's the problem. He's not the problem, but he's part of it. Don't pretend like he's not. Like, let's not walk past this and pretend like he's not part of the problem. A. B. Talking about any of the players.
No, but what about his hair, though? His hair is so stupid, too.
So
if you want, listen,
pedophile mustache.
If they want to put blame on Reinhart, that's fine. If you want to put blame on Ristolainen, that's fine. But also put blame on the fact that they finally fucking put Skinner on the first line, and guess what? Nothing happened. The response to every bad Sabres player can't be put him on a line with Jack and he'll get better, because Jack doesn't make other players better. He doesn't.
I got
where Jack is a pure goal scorer, or that we have one on this team, or that he makes players better, because he doesn't. Now, I'm not saying don't keep him on the team. By all means, shift him down to the second line center and have him shovel the pucks off to somebody else, but go out and trade fucking Skinner and his massive, stupid fucking contract to somebody else for a good goaltender and get a manageable first line center before somebody else figures out what the hell's wrong with Skinner.
Well, I was going to say, in this scenario, Eichel is a sore throat, but the ownership is tuberculosis.
No, you're just so high horse on fucking Eichel, you don't even take insult.
I just said that Jack Eichel is basically cancer at this point.
Okay, but like, I absolutely agree with you. I think he's a toxic, whiny bitch, and
okay,
part of the problem.
Right. Hold on.
I don't see where the criticism towards the Pagulas comes from, because they're as involved with the Sabres as they are with the Bills. And
no, they are not. You are so shit right now, and you know it. You are so full of shit right now, and you
Tell
know
me where, and show me the proof as to where they're more involved with the Sabres and the NFL. It's the same thing. It's not like they're not in the war room for the Bills. It's not like he's not talking to Bean about who they're drafting.
Okay.
He's there. It's same thing in the NHL too.
Okay.
You know why? You want to know why this situation is going to play, Ryan? It's because the Pagulas, as owners of an NHL franchise, and they know that the team is utter dog shit, and they know they've treated this team poorly for 10 years. You want to know why they're in the draft board? Because they can't leave. They don't have a choice.
I think as the owners of the team, they absolutely have a choice to.
No, they don't. They're an NHL franchise owners. They have to team.
That team tomorrow, it doesn't make a difference.
It absolutely makes a difference, because if the Pagulas were actually smart, which they're not, they're a bunch of dudes who just sit on their ass, and then you have a cringy, whiny prima donna bitch of a wife who thinks is a total control freak and says, we have more knowledge than the average fan, as if it's already a slap in the face to everybody, including the three of us, except for Adam, because Adam is fucking useless at this point. But I'm trying to
what do you mean?
As a retrospective is this. Is the Pagulas intentionally, okay? The word here is intentionally. They waited until Ralph Wilson died in his grave to buy the Bills. And once they saw that opportunity, they straight up said, you know what? Let's go get some money. Let's go get some money and buy it towards the Bills. And once we win the bet over Donald Trump and John Bon Jovi, we can buy and they'll make more money for us. Let's just put the Sabres on the side and leave them to dust. Let's just leave them out to dry.
I think
it doesn't make any sense.
Has always been on the fucking side. I don't think anybody actually cares.
But
that doesn't make any sense because, okay, sure, the NFL is, of course, going to make more money than the NHL. But if it was simply about money, wouldn't they also want to make a little extra money? It's not going to be NFL more
doing some fracking than actually having to do business with a shitty hockey team.
Fracking. You know what fracking is?
Don't think he does. But it's not okay. So then where's the argument that they don't spend money? They've put millions of dollars into it, the same as they have for the Bills.
They fired all their staff.
They're still paying debt. They are still paying the contracts of Cody Hodgson, Billy Leno, They have $8 million to pay off of Taylor Hall. They still have to pay off a minimum wage of $10.25 million for the next 5 seasons of Jack Eichel. So that last time that the Pagulas, if they're such fucking geniuses, when was the last time they actually spent money and actually panned out for them?
But like 3 weeks ago, you're like coming up to Madison, you're like, Taylor Hall,
Yeah, Taylor Hall in January was fine, and then we have COVID on the ice.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle Palmieri.
Yeah, basically. Thanks, Kyle Palmieri. But anyway, so really, ask yourself, when was the last time, besides of being from dumb little fucking fat bitches, were they able just to sit on the couch and just go, here, take the
Hey, Bobby, I kind of feel like you need a hug.
I don't need a hug.
Seriously, Jesus
I'm
Christ.
spitting the truth. It is a fucking shithole.
Got there.
Hell, the fucking Browns make more money than the Sabres. And even if the Browns were garbage for 17 years, they had more production from their players than the goddamn Sabres.
Okay, but you're comparing that terrible.
Garrett Cole, Starling Marte, Josh Bell, Francisco Liriano.
I know nothing about baseball, but
we're not talking about baseball. It's not a sport. Shut the fuck up.
What I'm trying to make is that the Pirates, even though they're cheap, You and they traded in it.
You should run for politics, Bobby.
Yeah, right. I should.
Yeah,
Not really. That was way more like he was doing more like a
the
Hitler
Mets.
thing. He really just had an NFL team make it to the AFC Championship.
Yeah, you know why? Because the Bagulas don't put their filthy hands on the team. That's and their job.
I just said if you go and you watch the draft night coverage, they're in the war room talking to Bean about. You can literally now look that he's in there right now. That he's in there talking to Bean about. Oh, we're gonna draft this guy. What about this guy? And it's the same thing when they released the
Demonstration to make here. Give me a second. Okay.
Yeah,
It's the exact same thing. So they're not. So your argument that they're just letting the Bills go and they're letting Bean and McDermott handle it is not true because it's there on video.
Yeah, but then we have.
You also just got done saying that they have to be in the room because they're the
owner. Then why the fuck did we have to watch on February 22nd, 2011? We had to watch him cry crocodile tears. Why did we have to do that? Why did we have to watch him go through that?
But I guess
Okay,
one of the other questions would be is like if they're so good with the Bills and with through or 5 GMs now, coaches. Let's see, they've burned through Ruff, they've burned through Nolan, they've burned through Bielsa, they've burned.
Answer to that,
Why?
and it wasn't the coach and it wasn't the GM. It was the fucking players.
And they burned through 2 president of hockey operations. Let's remember that too. Ted Black and LaFontaine, who quit.
So
Yeah, Jack Eichel is the GM, owner, and coach of this goddamn.
and he's the vagina of the team.
He gets in the.
Wow, I love how you bring up the Leafs and we're top of the league right now. So go fuck yourself.
Yeah, you're in a division with 6 other Canadian teams who are utter trash, other than Montreal.
Oh,
And that's
really?
not
Listen,
Oh, really?
the Bills weren't fantastic. Like they didn't just get the Bills and it was Josh Allen and whatever. Like it was
Right.
freaking Tyrod Taylor.
Oh, Rod
and
Taylor.
of all time on their all-time
he's
list.
not
It's
even-
absolutely
come
ridiculous.
on.
I'll put Pete Metzelaars in that category.
I'm not saying that they didn't make mistakes when it came to the Sabres, but I'm just saying the theme of them, how they interact with the Sabres and how they interact with the Bills are very different. And there's not enough proof for me to say absolutely one way or I know everybody likes to use the super yacht thing about like, oh, you set up another fracking site for your super yacht and blah, blah, blah. I was like I just said on the show that I was on before this, Adams came into a shitty front office situation that he's trying to deal with. And I can already tell you in the next 3 years, he's going to get fired because it's not fixed, because everybody just assumes that as an NHL GM or and everything's fixed. And that's not how it is. This team,
Tell it to the Golden Knights.
this, what do you mean tell it to the Golden Knights? They haven't even been around for half a decade.
Yeah, exactly. They made the finals in their first year with no problem, and half of their core players were misfits.
Yeah, that's because the NHL made the absolute mistake by only doing one expansion franchise at a time, letting them have the pick of the litter for whoever they want. It's the same thing's going to happen in Seattle. I guarantee you Seattle makes the playoffs.
Seattle is not going to be the same as Vegas.
It's absolutely going to be the same.
No, it's not.
It's absolutely going to be the same. The NHL's going to give them the absolute pick of the litter with the expansion draft. Then they're going to turn around to the actual draft some more people. They're going to get an A and an key good because they're not on teams that are affiliated with NHL teams, or if they are affiliated with NHL teams, or if that AHL team is affiliated with an NHL team, they don't get brought up ever, and they're going to be in something that and I don't even know who their AHL affiliate would be or the ECHL affiliate would be.
It's a fucking joke. It's just a joke. You're going to look at it as a fucking joke.
It's an absolute joke. I guarantee you Seattle either barely misses or makes the playoffs in their first full season. I guarantee, because Seattle and probably Houston,
Two teams we were able to
at the same time, so that you didn't have what happened with Vegas where they make it to the finals and then make the playoffs again. I guarantee you.
They should have brought back the Quebec Nordiques, in my opinion.
Oh, I would love to see that team back. Have that natural rivalry between the Quebec Nordiques and the Montreal Canadiens again. That would be beautiful.
I should have worn it. I bought a Hartford Whalers hat.
Okay, that's not too bad because at least that's a vintage standpoint. How about this? If this was your argument, Ryan, per se, about expansion, then how did Jeff Sanderson just magically hoist an invisible Stanley Cup with the Columbus Blue Jackets in 2000? How did that happen? It didn't, because not everything works in the favor of the Golden Knights.
I kind of feel like our topics are being like so long that we need to fucking move on.
How like Jack Eichel should at least be knocked down a line or two, and like he's not as good as everybody thinks. We need a pure goal scorer, and the NHL you can get assists and points, but like it doesn't matter. That's not how you win games.
Then I brought up the Pagolas being for tuberculosis.
No. Here's the bottom line. The bottom line for me is that Jack Eichel is supposed to be a true scorer, and he's not. He's not a Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner is a fucking playmaker. That's what he does. And Jack Eichel right now is just a playmaker, and that's not what he's supposed to be. So
yeah, put him on the Rangers, and he'll be kicking everyone's ass.
Oh my God! Shut the fuck up, Bobby.
When it comes down to it, it goes. Hold on, it goes back to my exact argument of everybody on the Sabres is a playmaker. Nobody's a pure goal scorer. If you look at the Rangers, if you look at the Oilers, if you look at Toronto,
even though they're like old as hell right now, they still have pure goal scorers on them.
Listen, in 3 years they're going to fire Adams, who didn't need to deserve to be fired in the first place, and we're going to blame it on the GM, and we're going to blame it. And it's in the comments in the group right now. I made the post last night. It was in the comments. We all saw them. Everybody's blaming the coach, which fair enough. Kruger deserves a good serving of the blame. But so do the players. The players absolutely deserve the blame, and if their name isn't Ristolainen or Reinhardt, the blame.
I gotta tell you one thing, Ryan. This is a good thing for you because it's like you've been on the show plenty of times now. And it feels like to me, you finally came in, you opened up, you went into the confessional, and you finally unleashed the hate. And I give you a lot of props on that.
It's so thank you, but it's so beyond aggravating. Like I'm not saying that Eichel is the problem, but like tell it for what it is. Like the Sabres suck. They stink. They're a horrible team. Tell it like it is. Don't lie about it. Like at the trade deadline. He doesn't go, but I guarantee you he gets shopped at the trade deadline.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, like, honestly, like, this season watching the Sabres, it's been a snooze fest, just like last year, and just like the last several years, actually. I'm finding it harder and harder to get through full games based on the level of effort that we're seeing. And it's like that movie Groundhog Day, where you have that same scene that replays over and over and over.
Come on.
The crazy part of this...
I'm a Leafs fan. I've seen this shit over and over and over and over and over again.
I've seen it since
the crazy part of this.
Well, since you won the cup back when you were the original six, so you guys are used to it.
1967, bud. I've seen it. I've fucking lived it.
Right.
They've played the exact same. And it's even getting worse now. It's the exact same where they get to the other side. They're in enemy territory. They spread out. They pass the puck a couple of times. Then they shoot it directly into the goalie's chest. Then it gets fired down to the other end of the ice. And then they got to go back and chase it. Or you end up with the the crowning picture of this season is going to be the Will Borgen 4-on-5. The picture of the season is going to be the Will Borgen
Jack Quinn makes his
4-on-1.
debut tomorrow.
I think this is the less boring I've ever heard Brian ever talk on the show.
You know what the Buffalo Sabres remind me of? The highlights I've seen, it's
What?
like it reminds me of the boring play back in the early 2000s of the New Jersey Devils.
Oh God, that trap system that everybody hated.
Yeah, trap chase.
Yeah, just like Peter DeBoer using San Jose, same thing.
It's absolutely ridiculous that how many times have we changed the coach since Ruff? Like 3, 5
Yeah.
times. Hasn't changed. You go down, you separate, 5 people down there. The defensemen stay on the blue line. The forwards go up. They shuffle it around a little bit, and it either gets stolen or they shoot it directly into the goalie's chest. Then it gets dumped down to the other end, or you get the 4-on-1. They score.
There's one
It's
thing,
it's
though.
the same thing over and over and over, no
how
matter
about that
who the
offside?
coach is. Are you kidding me?
Dude, there's one thing to have a cycle game when you don't have a cycle game. You're so bad at the cycle game that it's embarrassing.
Yeah, but I'll talk about team. Always go for the cheapest coaches available. Legitimately, think about this. Ron Rolston got an AHL deal. Ted Nolan got picked up from the fucking, alleyway of Gotham City. Does absolute fucking trash. And then you have Dan Bilesma. Oh, yeah, Dexter, let's give him a 3rd-round pick for the Reds to hire that stubborn fuck. To give him a 3rd-round pick for him. That's the most expensive coach they've hired since then. Okay? Then you go with Phil, I'm so quiet as a mouse Housley over Rick Tocchet. And then you go with Ralph Big Nose Kruger over Bruce fucking Boudreaux.
Yeah, but if I remember correctly, you were all fucking like, all fucking.
Wait, past coaches. Which past coaches are you talking about?
Oh, the one that you gave up the 3rd-round pick for.
With Bilesma? I didn't even meet you yet at that point when they hired him.
Well, maybe it's the coach after that. That you were fucking all butt. Like, you're like, oh, yeah, he's going to be the coach, going to carry us. Yeah.
Okay, said maybe Housley has a chance to be a good coach because he was a power play coach. He was a defensive coach for the Nashville Predators when they went to the Cup Finals a couple years ago against Pittsburgh. So he was just coming out off the microwave when he got hired.
How'd that work?
The problem is when it comes to coaches, you have 2 times you can.
True.
No, not really. But what I was going to say was you can either get guys that should have retired like 3 to 4 years ago because their style of play is no longer relevant in the league, and so you're going to lose games, or you get the guys that absolutely suck, but they're the guys that keep getting passed around from team to team like a cheap whore in Thailand. And are the only guys that are available. How many new coaches are legitimately out there that are like assistant coaches and coming up? How many guys are coming up from the AHL? I mean,
there's Sheldon
outside of
O'Keefe.
Toronto, and Sheldon Keefe coming up because he absolutely deserves. He did no development system for coaches and assistant coaches
it's hit or miss.
hockey.
It's hit or miss.
Right.
It's absolutely hit or miss, and it's hockey. Here, let me equate it to this.
Mhm.
The current NHL hockey coach development system is essentially a bunch of Adam Gases getting passed around from team to team.
Yeah.
It's just shit coaches getting passed around in hopes that it's so beyond bad that coaching is obviously like legitimately a reason that players or like that teams lose, obviously, but like it's way more of a problem. Like Kruger, their play styles are not relevant to the NHL anymore. You're going out and getting playmakers for teams. You're not going out and getting enforcers for teams. The league is not the same. You need to get younger guys, which is why, and I said this earlier on the live that I was doing before, I'm excited. I would be excited to see who Kevin Adams brings in, because I think he would go with like an out-of-pocket type pick, not something dumb like Kruger coming from soccer and then before that hockey. Like a
Only
younger,
reason-
like a guy the games, maybe like an AHL coach, possibly somebody that's in Rochester right now working to develop our guys. And by the way, Rochester's beaten teams by like 6 or 7 freaking goals.
I have a better idea. Maybe the only reason that Ralph Kruger, of all fucking people, got hired by Jason Butterall because of 2 connections. Well, mainly one is because they have family connection ties. Hiring from Butterall for Kruger is the equivalent of Eric Swalwell sleeping with Fang Fang for a promotion to move up into Congress. This is the same fucking equivalent.
I'll just end it by saying I think that if Kruger got fired, which I'm assuming that he probably will after this season,
It'll probably
if he's
happen
not already fired already, I would be the GM that I want to bring in a new guy, because I feel like he'd pick an out-of-pocket guy, somebody that's younger, potentially in Rochester.
Bring up an AHL coach, man.
No,
A guy that's hungry, man. Bring up a guy that's hungry to fucking win.
Although surprisingly,
I absolutely would bring in I don't remember where he went after they fired him from Rochester, but Chris Taylor.
Chris Taylor is with, I think, Nashville, if I remember correctly.
I'd absolutely bring in Chris Taylor. There was no reason for us not to. I know that the focus turned to like actually developing guys, which I'm glad that they're actually like now developing, and you can see the development in some of these younger players while still winning games, which is why I trust that Kevin Adams would make a good coaching decision. Coach at the NHL level.
You think every team right now would be like, hey, look what the Leafs did. They brought up an AHL coach, and he brought his shit up from the AHL, not having any NHL experience, but yet, oh, hey, look, he's letting his players play the game. You know, like, let them do what they want to do and let them score goals. That's what you're paid to do.
Right,
and then, but you bring in Kruger, that's like an old fucking fart. I don't know where you're like a bunch of young players, and teach them what you learned 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, clearly Peter Laviolette had no job finding a job. Bruce Boudreau didn't have a job, didn't have a problem finding a job. So these are coaches. John Tortorella didn't have a problem finding a job. And these are guys that have been coaching for 30 plus years. So they clearly have no problem.
Okay, wait. Okay, as you say that, please tell me all these teams that are being successful right now.
Okay, it's basically based off of building an actual team. Like,
shut the fuck up, and tell me these teams, Bruce Boudreau, all these other coaches. Please tell me which team is the most successful. Washington is like a set fucking piece. Other than that, Nashville is totally garbage.
Yeah, they're really underperforming this year. They're way.
Well, that's what happens when John Hines is the fucking coach.
No, that's what happens when we use old coaching tactics and it goes nowhere.
Well, clearly Peter Laviolette went to a cup final, and he's bound to do the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so what's Peter Laviolette doing right now?
Peter Laviolette's having a great season with the Caps, so I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh, my God. How can you not have a good...
Look Laviolette with the Flyers.
And then they just turned around and signed the 8-foot Zdeno Chara.
Okay, that's like everybody with Babcock. They're like, oh, Babcock come to Toronto, you're gonna fucking win a bunch of games, and blah blah blah, and oh yeah, you coached a Red Wings team.
You thought he was good too. So.
No, fuck you, man. Old coaches don't work.
What I'm trying to make up is that I would rather if the Sabres actually had someone who has experience in winning, and Bilesman does not count because he is a stubborn fuck. But all I'm trying to say is that if you're going to bring in someone like Bruce Boudreau or Mike Babcock, guys who have that winning culture.
I won't bring in Babcock.
as a metaphor, a figure of speech. Okay, calm your Canadian tits.
Well, you just
And
had
anyway,
Babcock and a winning culture in the same sentence, so I'm not
Well,
sure how that
Yeah,
applies.
Sheldon
Yeah,
Keefe had to
that's
change
so
that.
sad.
Well, Mike Babcock's got a Stanley Cup, so I'll take that for
Oh
what it is.
yeah, when
Yeah,
they
the
had
stacked Detroit
Lidstrom and
Red Wings team.
Shanahan and guys like that, yeah. How can you not win?
Oh, come on,
Yeah.
dude. He had Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, William Nylander, a 1 year.
Dude, you literally fucking benched fucking players like Marner on a daily basis. There was no way they could win.
Yeah,
You
because
treated fucking players like shit.
I don't agree with that tactic, what he did with Marner, but it doesn't excuse his behavior. But the fact is that Mike Babcock gets the best of his players, no matter the case.
Oh my god, no,
But
he
if you
doesn't.
look at the
He
same
gets the
players
best
that
of
were
players
there
at their
with-
prime.
Yeah, but if you look at the same players on the Red Wings that were there with Babcock, and then the following year they end up bringing in their AHL.
On the Red Wings from those years without Steve Yzerman were guys that were on the 2002 Red Wings in their early their later
Hell, by
years.
the time that was done.
But the point I'm trying to make is Mike Babcock, even those guys were old, he still won a cup with those guys. So if you took the concept of Mike Babcock, and the best thing about Mike Babcock is that he could get the best out of his players.
Oh my god, shut the fuck up. You're already
It's
done.
true though.
Shut up. Shut
Look,
up.
I know you're
If Mike
better.
Babcock could
Right.
There were
Your
allegations.
highest paid no, dude. Your highest paid coach in the league and you get fired, get fucked.
Well, why the fuck did the Leafs pay him that much money?
because they thought he was
stupid and
good.
blew the cap.
Again, I just got done saying the whole thing about GMs is trade guys that you know are bad before everybody else figures out what's wrong with them. It's the exact same thing with coaches. You're gonna
Oh
sign
yeah,
them.
trading Robin Leonard was the best fucking idea.
No, you should have kept Robin Leonard. I always said that. But
Yeah,
Thank you.
250-pound goalie. He's actually performing really well with Vegas right now.
Yeah, keeping Ryan O'Reilly. Yeah, he's a shit player. Wins a Stanley Cup the following
Yeah.
year.
The
Yeah, he's
only
like-
thing
granted-
that Robin Leonard
Granted, at the time he was not performing best. We're all unaware of. I also said that we should have kept Robin Leonard and that the issue was mainly with the defense.
Well-
dude, the only thing I saw with Robin Leonard was the fact that he couldn't keep his cool at times. But look at Ron Hextall. He could never
Oh,
keep
he
his cool
lost it
either.
all the time.
Never
No.
use
He
Ron
wasn't
Hextall
afraid of
and Robin Leonard in the same sentence because those two guys are not even close to comparable.
Robin Leonard is still a good goalie, man. He always was.
Yeah, if you put him in the right system, absolutely. I've always said that, even when he was with the Islanders. And I said, listen, I was sad that Leonard had to go, but he just didn't want to be in Buffalo. He gets let go. He gets a 1-year deal with the Islanders, and he plays within the only year he goes there. Wins, I think, the Vezina or the Jennings, whatever it was. And then, no, it wasn't the Vezina. It was the Jennings. So he has one of the best seasons of his career, goes to Chicago, gets traded to Vegas, which was probably the best thing that ever happened to him. And now he's going to be there for the next half a decade with the goal. Become favorites.
Dude, the best thing that happened to Leonard was leaving the Sabres.
Or the Senators because he was never going to get an opportunity to begin with. If that trade to Buffalo never happened, Robin Leonard would not even be anywhere near where he is right now.
Oh, but then you give up Ryan O'Reilly to the St. Louis Blues, and he just wins the cup and all.
Yeah, because the Buffalo media had to fuck him over and say he was absolute cancer, which turned out to be a total fucking lie because Paul Hamilton, that tub of lard, thought it was a good idea to bash Ryan O'Reilly because, in quote, he was being a whiny bitch and a sore loser because he didn't get the captaincy over Eichel, then get shipped out to St. Louis and got practically nothing for him.
Yeah, exactly. So Eichel should have been shipped before O'Reilly had.
But the difference is, why would you trade Jack Eichel when you still had Ryan O'Reilly? What sense did that make at the time?
The sense to me would have been that's happening.
Oh, cool. Let's use this scenario. All right, so you have Christian McCaffrey, but you get Deshaun Watson. Yeah, let's trade away Christian McCaffrey for practically nothing, but keep Deshaun Watson because Deshaun Watson is cancer after all. Let's do that.
Why are you bringing up football? We're talking about hockey.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not. It's definitely not the same thing.
My point
Anyways, do we have anything else to talk about? Shut up, Bobby. Anything else? We have to move on here. Move on. For fuck's sake.
I got nothing else to say about this.
Yeah, I actually have something else to say, and that
No,
is,
you don't. Shut up.
you don't even know what I'm going to say. Shut the fuck
No, I
up.
don't care what you have to say. Shut the fuck up.
You don't know what I'm going to
All
say.
right,
So
what is it?
No,
What is it?
go ahead.
for it.
Go ahead, Johnny Boo. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, Fernando Tatis just got a 14-year extension from the San Diego Padres for $340 million.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Why?
Well, he turns 22. Well, yeah. So here's something from Jeff Passan on Twitter. What gets me most about Tatis's $340 million extension is how young he is. He turned 22 a month ago. Mike Trout signed a similar mega deal at 27. Same with Mookie Betts. But for the Padres to commit this before Tatis even reached his arbitration is staggering. With no trade clause is a true commitment. So basically, what the Padres just did was they just extended our short Francisco Lindor right before he even turned 25, and he's only 23 years old. That is scary.
That makes no sense. You're gonna pay a guy like $250 million for what? What stats does he have to prove his fucking how good he
I
is?
want to bring in now.
Fernando
Malcolm.
Tatis.
Yeah, like no. How many years has he had to MLB?
Let's find out. I'm going to get the stats in the process.
I don't want to talk about baseball. Why are we talking about the baseball? Shut the fuck up.
Because fuck you. That's what came up. Whatever news comes up, that's what comes up. So,
I kind of feel like Tom has more interesting things to bring up than you.
well, I could certainly. All right. So while we're in the process of doing that, let's talk about
Shut
that.
up. Shut up.
Shut up. Oh, me and Adam are like brothers and sisters. We just
Yeah.
each other.
Finally decided to unleash the flow of hate today and really come into his own. And I'm just loving this.
He's just sitting back. This is supposed to be me, Tom, sitting back being the stone person in the background.
But you're not that stoned if you're talking, aren't you?
No, I'm actually like mediocre now. I'm like 50-50. So
Mediocre,
That's
right?
it. Go hit an edible if you want. It's all good.
no.
Yeah, so
I
the
want
answer-
to talk about something else besides baseball. No,
Well,
Bobby, no.
I was gonna say an average batting average is a .301, and this is career stats, by the way. Almost 40 home runs with 98 RBIs and 27 stolen bases. Boom, there you go. And Fernando Tatis is only 22.
So he's worth $240 million. Get fucked.
340 million. That's
Oh,
all.
get fucked.
Yeah. There's ball in the last 2-3 years that a lot of them are just like, holy shit. Machado got 300 million. Machado got 400 million a couple of years ago. Harper got 300 million from the Phillies. Trout got 450 million from the Angels. And then just last winter, Garrett Cole got 324 million by a pitcher of anybody from the Yankees.
Yeah, I don't get baseball when it comes to contracts. They're obviously fucking retarded.
Well, I'll tell you this. There is no luxury tax. Well, actually, there is a luxury tax, but there is no salary cap in baseball.
I get that point, Bobby. Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah, and trust me, Francisco Lindor is going to get a similar contract very soon.
Are they going to actually hit luxury tax territory now?
Well, Poet did say he's willing to do that. He tried to buy the Dodgers a few years ago before Magic Johnson got their hands on it.
Be interesting.
I kind of feel like we need to talk about something else.
Okay, how about this? How about this?
Oh,
trade?
Bobby. Shut. Tom, you're running the show. Please tell us something else to talk about.
How about well, we could always recap this for everyone that that didn't look last week, but Bobby miserably failed at the beard challenge because he decided to not use the beard oil, and basically Brittany forced him to shave his beard after not even a week, the little bit that he claimed he had but never had.
Yeah,
I told you.
Vagina like stash, I call it.
Well, I told you my face doesn't match with a beard, and my hair is too light
All right.
to get a beard. And I know
How
you're
gay are you? How gay are you? just say my face doesn't match my beard.
I look like
Sasquatch. It doesn't matter.
yeah, but Ryan has a porn stash. I got a fucking chin
Oh
strap.
no, this is all the way around. I mean, this is
Yeah,
down,
he's got
over,
all the way
under,
around.
over.
Look,
This is
see,
not.
Bobby,
This is not
see?
it.
See?
He can actually grow something on his
Right.
face.
And this is
Right.
this is
And
the
mine is
first
still all
time.
good.
This is the first time that I've actually had the chance to grow my facial hair out and my hair out in like 12 years.
There you go.
Well, where did you get the majority of your face hair from? Your eyebrows?
That would be a
Oh,
funny joke if my eyebrows weren't literally thick as shit. Bobby.
That's the joke.
All right, we gotta throw a new challenge up for Bobby here because I want to see him like really grow it out, and I want to actually like. Oh, he won't survive that.
Yeah, it never happened. It'll last like 30 seconds.
Yeah, not even.
Okay,
I'd
fine.
say over under is 15 on that.
Yeah, I'll take 18-1 odds.
Right. So.
I'll bet all my money and get a $5 million return on it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, Bobby, it's your choice of challenges here, and no, we're not gonna do the hot sauce one again because you've already done that. You could either we give you 30 days and you try to grow it out again, and whatever Brittany says, you're still stuck with growing it out, or you could take the challenge that Adam had, where you jump through the table with Dan's shit on it.
Well,
Yeah.
first off, the whole
clothing
shit
bag
idea
of
was
shit.
my idea. That wasn't Adam's idea. That was my idea.
I'm so
Okay, I
glad
have
I'm not
another
like a
idea.
series regular on this shit.
Hey, I have another idea.
What's
All right,
that?
go for it.
So I want you. Here's another challenge you could do.
I want
to
you to suck your dick.
No. I want you to cough in their face
Oh yeah, and have the cops call on me.
and then video it.
Yeah, that's called domestic terrorism.
Yeah.
You're arrested for
Yeah,
domestic terrorism.
Exactly. Come on, Bobby. You're a pussy. Come on. You can do it.
Well, I mean, why? Is it because you're too polite to do it, you fucking Canadians?
No, I can fucking definitely do it. No problem.
Yeah. Whatever you say, all talk, no action.
I
dude.
can't go to jail in Canada for coughing someone's face.
Well, why
So
not? So you're asking me to do it? So what the fuck?
Yes, I'm asking you to do it.
Why? What is that gonna do?
Oh, it's gonna make me laugh.
Fuck, I'm boring.
Yeah.
You're asking the wrong guy for the
But
job.
then he might be dealing with a federal pen for a while. You got to
Survive in a federal pen.
Yeah, that would be a domestic terrorist. And plus, I have to run around with all the liberals around me. I guess I live in the most liberal town in my community, so I'm good with where I'm standing. So
I thought you said where you work is all conservative. Now it's all liberal.
no. Listen, I said the town I work for is conservative
Okay.
because there's two things: you have a county and you have a town. I work for the town. The county is full liberal. The cities around here, because I live in Merrick, and the next town over is Belmore, and then East Meadow, and then etc. Westbury. You name it, that's where it is. All
Okay,
those.
by the way, people, we're not affiliated with any politics or leftists or rightists, so shut the fuck up.
This is the idiot who wants me to cough at people without a mask. So
Well, hey, you know what? Like, that's my fucking prerogative, so fuck you.
yeah, there you go. So that kind of indicts it. So there you
You
have
can
it.
absolutely say that, but it's whether or not you go through with it.
Why would I do that? Why would I do that?
Come on.
Somebody else's shit? Like what?
Come on, I would expect Adam to suck his own dick with a mirror, or
He's
at
not
least
Marilyn Manson who had 3 ribs removed. Come on.
Dude, if I could suck my own dick,
because
I
it's
wouldn't
so
be here
small.
right now. I'd still be sucking my own dick.
I can't wait.
Why are you, like, acting it?
Because I'm a bad actor.
No, I can clearly tell that, but it's kind of
wasn't-
Dude,
disturbing
Bobby,
that you're
apparently
actually
Brittany
trying
thinks
to...
you're a bad actor also.
Yeah, and you're a bad actor too.
You know what?
At least I get the nub.
That just opens up a whole new world of jokes.
Yeah, like Bobby, like someone should have snapped a picture of Bobby just gagging on an imaginary dick.
Oh my god.
What are you, Cartman? Okay, I want you to go down on my knees, and I'm gonna go pull down his pants, and I need you to take a picture of me sucking his. Yeah, that contest, or whatever it was, the challenge.
Oh, wait. Now we're speaking about beer challenge. I have a challenge for you, Bobby.
What? Go ahead.
How about me and you go live and we chug beer for beer to whoever passes out first?
Yeah, like Family Guy. When
Okay,
Peter
fine.
and his uncle ended up drinking each other under the table, and Peter is still ended up standing.
Yeah.
Hey,
Bobby,
have you guys seen those baseball bats that they turned into like beer mugs?
Yeah, I want
I've
to get
heard of
one.
them. I really haven't seen a whole lot though.
I right before the show I saw one pop up on my Facebook. You can actually customize, like you can put different like logos and texts on there and stuff. So I'm
Oh,
looking
believe
to
me,
get
I
one.
want that.
Bobby actually brought out the beer.
he still thinks the was to be beer for beer, which never happens.
Yeah,
Hey,
try.
Luffy, you know I love you, man, but and I know I can drink a lot, but I know you'd still outdrink me under the table.
Dude, I could smoke a fucking pound of weed and drink 12 beers and
And
still be standing
you'd be
straight.
still standing and totally with it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I am well aware of my limits and I play within it. I'm not a big drinker. Usually after one of anything, I'm just like, this isn't really for me anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you boys handle this one.
I'm a newfie Canadian, so like I'm Irish. So, like beer runs in my blood.
Yeah, you got alcohol in your veins. You can deal
More
with
like
it.
I got plenty more of that to come.
He ran to the store really
How many
quick.
beers did you bring out?
Oh my god, you have 3 beers. That's my breakfast.
Oh no, there's some underneath it.
Oh, I got more of that, bitch. I got more.
Okay, I'm just saying that's my breakfast right there.
I am not
Kind
finished.
of reminds me when I was at my sister's wedding over 10 years ago, and I probably drank like a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Look,
on my own
ready? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Guinnesses, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Labatt Blues, and
You have food?
a Zini.
Oh my god.
Oh, from our food thing last week. And actually, this time you actually remembered what it was when you were on last week. You worked at the place. You couldn't even remember your own damn.
You're like a pussini. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, you all can suck.
No, don't hide your face. Let's see it.
Yep.
If you're gonna drink, we want to see you drink.
Okay, Bobby, I'm not gonna lie, I'm already like 10 beers deep, so get started, bud.
You cheated, so we didn't even have this conversation just yet.
I'm sorry, man. Like, it's my daily routine. I like get drunk.
I changed my hat, and I hope that you guys appreciate it. I think maybe Adam will appreciate it a little bit of a throwback.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Nice retro, man.
I don't know if you guys. So what side is it on? So it's the Carhartt 47 brand hats. These hats are amazing. They're super cheap, super good quality. Absolutely love these hats. It kind of sits on top of my head. Super comfortable. I got one of the Bills one, the actual Carhartt, like the tan ones. Oh, I'm waiting to get the mesh one, but where did Bobby go? He disappear behind all that?
His face is behind the beer, probably like milking himself off or something.
I am not milking
Bobby, please shove your head through those cans right now.
Yeah, like go Kool-Aid man and go, oh yeah.
No, that's not what we wanted. Shove straight through.
I'm not gonna brew a good beer.
Bobby, let's do it. Let's go. Put your head through it and go, oh yeah, like the Kool-Aid guy.
Yeah.
No, you gotta knock him down. God damn it.
Okay. Anyway, so I'm gonna start drinking.
Go for it.
I'm not chugging this whole down all at once. So just to let you know.
You're not going to get past like 3 of those. You'll be like in bed.
You're probably right.
Oh, I am right. We
Make enjoy Zini.
No, it actually doesn't.
Why not?
Hey, if we're talking about sending food to people, I don't know if any of you are near Sheets. Obviously, Tom, you would not
God, I
be,
miss
but
that place. I mean, I know the closest one's in Erie for me, and I mean, like whenever I go down to PA, I always love to make a Sheets run before I come back.
actually, I also thought the closest one was Erie to us because I mean, like we're both in Western New York.
Yeah.
Bradford.
Really?
Bradford is I timed it out on Google Maps. Bradford is actually a little bit closer to us than Erie, and they have a Sheets. It's only an hour and a half one way.
That's actually not bad then, because
no,
I wouldn't mind taking a ride down there at some point. Yeah,
let me know if you do. Let me know if you do because I want a meatball sub on a pretzel bun.
Dude, I'll just take.
Sheets, yeah.
Okay, no, it's just shits, or you had the sheets or the shits? One of the
Sheets.
Okay, all right. I couldn't understand
the
that.
Open
What?
24/7, man.
It was the best thing because it was the only thing. Because like the college that I went to, technically Williamsport is a city, but it's essentially a small town. Only thing that was open 24 hours.
Right.
Only thing, except for an occasional McDonald's.
You still had that, but I mean, Wegmans stopped cuts off at like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I actually do have one confession to make, and I want Adam's opinion on this.
Oh god.
Oh Jesus.
And I want everybody's opinion, in fact, on this. Owner Dave Tepper of the Carolina Panthers is, quote, highly motivated to land Deshaun Watson, according to Jason LaConfera. And then yesterday there was a report saying, or at least a rumor, that they're willing to trade Christian McCaffrey and 3 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson.
Absolutely a fair trade.
No,
but they shouldn't.
Not. No, it's not.
He's gonna Deshaun Watson is going to be a minimum of 4 to 5 first-round picks. So 3 first-round picks, and
you don't give up McCaffrey, man.
I'm not saying again, but that's what I'm saying though. They shouldn't give him up, but that would be on paper a fair trade. But there's no reason that you should give up your franchise running back for a franchise QB.
Here's my trade. And this is the only trade I give for Deshaun Watson. It'd be Teddy Bridgewater and 2 or 3 first-rounders.
That, I think, works much better than having to give up McCaffrey and 3 first-round picks. Just not a chance.
You ain't giving up my boy. If you give up my boy, I'm leaving. I'm packing my bags. And I'm saying, fuck you, Carolina. That's it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be so. Well, I don't think that's going to happen. But it
will. It will. So.
Like, trade away LaShawn McCoy for Kiko Alonso.
Oh, God.
Hey, listen, Shady worked out great for the Bills.
I mean, hey,
just remember, at one point, Bobby, you thought Tyrod Taylor was a good quarterback. So,
yeah, I did.
It's very odd that you bring up the Kiko Alonso Shady thing because Shady was on Pat McAfee's show today.
Oh,
I'm not surprised.
And he talked to him about it, and it was pretty good. Listen, if we could have kept Kiko and still gotten Shady, I would have definitely preferred to do that because at the time, Kiko was a relatively good linebacker. I mean, he was an absolute. He hasn't been the same since, but yeah.
You were gonna say?
I wasn't gonna say anything.
No, you were gonna say.
He said what he had to say.
You said and then ...
Well, Ryan, I'll tell you this: if I want to make a Sheets run, Jeep, we'll split gas money. We'll go down there.
Let's go. I'm down.
We'll definitely do it because
yeah.
I will definitely.
I want a fucking meatball sub. I want a meatball sub on a pretzel bun. Like I've never had that in my life.
Oh, you're missing out.
The problem with Sheets is then you get a meatball sub on a pretzel bun with Parmesan cheese and pepper jack or whatever else you want on it, and then
fucking hungry now.
and then you go to buy and a screen pops up and it goes, do you want to put fries on your sub? And you have to ask yourself for a minute and you have to go, Am I that fat?
Or do you want it separate?
Press-
You know what?
You want the mega
No.
fries
Here's the way I look at it. If
Yeah,
I had a meatball sub, and they gave me an option to put fries on it, I'd be like, hey, at this stone,
Probably can. You probably
could
can.
probably get it
But
on
here's the thing. Here's the thing, Tom. The correct answer is no. I don't want the fries on the side. I don't want the fries on the. I don't want the fries on the sub. I want my mac and cheese bites on the side.
Oh.
You get that. You get those mac and cheese bites, and then you go home and you put yourself in a.
Well, why
food
don't you
coma.
just have a Zazzini? I mean, look at this precious thing.
I don't want to look. Bobby, somebody's going to take that and copy your bite and frame you for murder.
Frame me for murder. The sandwich is
Stop
already
showing
killed.
Stop showing it to the screen. You're going to get framed for murder.
First off,
Yes.
fuck you. Second, I used to work here. And third, this is my favorite
We
product.
And
can't
you couldn't
use
even
a
remember what was
copyright.
on your own
By the
Suzuki.
way, nobody has a copyright to anything that's on this show, by the way.
Yeah, and you're gonna get a copy strike from who? My fucking friend? Is that what you're gonna tell me?
It doesn't matter.
that one of my friends ended up giving me in return.
Why would I get copyright strikes for a fucking sandwich? That makes no sense.
Because you can't bring up a business name or a business.
Well, you're doing it right now, talking about me.
I'm not. I didn't say a name. I didn't say a name.
They did.
Doesn't matter. They're just recommending a business. They're not saying that you're copyrighted the fucking show.
All right, fine. McDonald's, sue me.
Oh god.
Just saying. McDonald's, sue me. Burger King, sue me.
Granted, I did just give free advertising to Carhartt, so
There you go.
I don't
There you
think
go.
they'd be mad though. I wasn't like trying to sell the product. I was giving them free advertising. If they want to pay me for the advertising, by all means, pay me for the advertising.
Well, let me ask you this. Would you eat a chicken cutlet sandwich with mozzarella cheese and Roscoe sauce on a rapini wrap?
I don't know.
That's exactly what I said.
Explain what this is again.
All right, okay.
I got like the chicken part and then like the mozzarella part, and I got the wrap part. I don't know. To me, a cutlass is like a sword.
I didn't say cutlets.
I thought that's what you said.
I said cutlets, chicken cutlets.
Oh, okay.
And you said Roscoe sauce, which nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
Well, I'm
Like
gonna-
Roscoe from like the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
Kind of ish, but his ass would be a lot sweeter than that. But this is really good.
Oh my god, Bobby.
Jesus.
Jesus.
You are coming out of the closet, aren't you?
I know. I'm just using it as
We should
expression.
name this episode the coming out episode for him.
His ass is a lot sweeter, I bet. Like, how gay is that, Bobby?
And plus, I've never seen Dukes of Hazzard, so I don't have any comparison.
Explain.
And so, anyways, explain this to me so that when
Zucchini.
because I'm actually gonna be down on Long Island this summer, so I'll have to stop by. The plan
Get your
is for
ass
me-
down here.
The
I will
plan is
take you
for me-
myself. Shut the
plan-
fuck up. I am taking you to a Mets game.
The plan is for me to go down. I have a friend that lives on Long Island, and a bunch of us are going to go down there. It's like a friend group. A bunch of us are going to go down there.
Oh,
And
and you
so-
forgot about me.
No, I didn't forget
You're not
about
his
you.
friend. You're not his friend.
I didn't forget about you. But tell me about this, so that way, when I'm down there, I know that I won't starve.
Okay, this is the Zazzini. So what this is, Ryan, is it's basically a chicken cutlet sandwich. It looks- It has a mozzarella cheese.
It's exactly like this, bites and all.
What the fuck's the rapini?
It's got a Sasquatch point on it.
Just shut up and I'll tell you. Okay, so
He's like shaking it, and there's chicken falling out of it too.
Yeah, you got
It's like
sauce.
what?
You're the worst spokesperson ever.
Okay, I'm gonna hold it just like this, so I don't have to move it. Okay, so anyway, so this is a Zazzini. It is a chicken cutlet sandwich with mozzarella cheese with Roscoe sauce, which is very, very sweet. It has a very, very tender flavor to it, and
A tender, right? Isn't
Shut
that
up.
bait?
People on
Wait, are you saying Wasco or Roscoe?
Roscoe. Roscoe. Roscoe
It
sauce.
sounded like Wasco, and I was like, okay, that doesn't make any
I
sense.
heard Tinder is all I heard.
Yeah,
Adam, shut the fuck up. You're irrelevant right now.
People on Tinder now.
No, I didn't say anything about Tinder. I'm just
It
saying.
sounded like
I'm
Tinder
literally-
when you said it was very tender.
Hey, all
Okay.
right.
I was gonna say, because if you're picking up cheap whores and Brittany doesn't know about it, then that might be an issue.
We have this idiot saying chicken cutlers. No, chicken cutlets. And then you say, oh, let's go on Tinder. No, I said tender.
You literally said Tinder.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. We've been talking about this sandwich for like 20
Go
minutes
on,
now.
go
Can we
on.
please finish this
We haven't
conversation?
even talked about the sandwich for 20 minutes.
Yeah, go
up,
ahead,
Bobby.
Bobby. Shut the fuck up and go ahead.
Talk
Shut
about
up.
the sandwich.
All right, shut up. Anyway, so this is a Zucchini. It's a rapini that has chicken cutlet, mozzarella cheese, and Roscoe sauce mixed in together. And Roscoe sauce is a very delicious sauce. It's very tender, and
He did.
all right,
I
fine.
told
This
you.
time I did, but I meant to say tender. It's a very tender sauce. And right next to me,
What? How the fuck is the sauce tender?
tender, like chicken tenders.
Oh, God,
How
I got a
the fuck
joke
is
I
the
would
sauce
totally bring up
tender?
right now.
Well, anyway, this is sweet barbecue sauce.
It doesn't make any sense either way you say it. Sauce is not tender; it's liquid.
Sauce is not liquid, idiots.
Oh, it's not. Okay, all right. I'm living on a different planet then, I guess.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah, you live in
liquid.
Canada, so
It's a type
Oh
of.
god, so sauce is tender in the U.S. apparently.
It's a bon appetit.
Well, you should have said that from the hop. It would have made it more
Oh,
interesting.
Tinder, yeah. I was gonna get to that, and then you distracted me about this whole Tinder bullshit.
The bacon should have been the first ingredient you mentioned.
Chicken, bacon, cheese.
Roscoe sauce. And
That
yeah,
tender-
okay. So
that tender
the important question here is, where do I find this? I'm assuming it doesn't just fall out of the sky once I hit Long Island. So
Nope.
Well,
where?
tender sauce usually doesn't.
Okay, no, let me ask you this, Ryan. What part of Long Island are you supposed to be going to?
No idea. It's gonna be the far end towards the ocean.
Well, Ryan, the whole fucking island's surrounded by water. That's far out east.
Yeah, it's essentially. I can look it up real quick.
Look up where your
But,
town lives. Look up where your friend lives, because I'm very interested where you have to go.
Look at where your
Oh, he's
town
gonna
is.
stalk you.
I think it's out near like Riverhead.
Riverhead's not that far from me. It's about
Okay.
maybe about 40 minutes of me.
Oh, the Leafs played tonight. Apparently, they won.
Ah, okay.
Did they?
Who'd they play?
Yeah, 2-1, Red. 2-1.
Yeah, they played the Ottawa Senators.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
It's good that they won, because that way we don't have to make fun of them anymore about blowing that lead the other
Hey,
night.
at least we get points. You guys don't even get points.
Oh, the lead.
You know why? Because they've regular.
When I used to have that show, and what happened is that was the game where we only had 2 shots on goal against the Leafs in the first period, and then we only had like 6 shots after 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
2 shots on goal. That's 2 more than they had in the third period 2
Yeah.
games ago.
And I thought 2 shots was bad. I never thought we'd have 0.
Yeah, that's pretty.
How do you? God, I don't want to get started again. But seriously, how do you play this game since you're like 5 years old and just suck at it once you get to like the most elite level? I don't.
Hey, money
Understand.
crossed.
Not getting a shot in the third period is pretty fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, it's unacceptable.
But God forbid, it's Kruger's fault. Not any of the players. You know, the ones that are supposed to be putting the pucks in the net. Not their fault.
Yeah,
Not their
Kruger ain't playing. Kruger ain't playing on the ice.
Well, anyway, to answer your question, Ryan, is you can find this lovely unknown species of sandwich at a place called Super Fry, and you will find it in a local town where I live, is in Merrick.
Okay.
Okay, can
I'll
I
have
bring
to-
up something here, Bobby? That's really personal, but can I bring it up anyway?
Uh-oh. Go
Go
for it.
ahead, spit it out.
How last night you were all like, "I'm going to change teams," and I hate Buffalo and their garbage and stuff.
Oh yeah, that. I actually thought about that. Since that
Yeah,
Yeah, I already told Tom about that, so he gets it. But here's the confession. So for those who don't know, I made a video just like this by
Does it play
myself.
church music in this. You said
No,
we probably
I
get
don't need
tagged.
music. Stop sympathizing this.
yeah. Please play the Titanic theme, please.
We don't need it.
Here, we're
Confess your
Okay,
sins.
anyway, so I said yesterday to Tom that I was
That
seriously
me.
considering soul searching to switching to another team, and I have two choices: either just abandon the Sabres after 23 years, 24 years, go somewhere else and start over, or just stick to my ground and just fucking just don't watch as many games. That way, I won't get stressed out. So I went with the latter option. I'm choosing to stay.
May I suggest choosing the Hartford Whalers?
They're dead.
Less stress, way less stress, way less stress to support this
Yeah.
team.
They don't lose the game.
Absolute winner. Listen, them, Quebec, and Atlanta, all undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about the freaking Cleveland Barons? You forgot about them too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
they're
all of them. I mean, all of them are undefeated. Way
Colorado-
less stress.
Got such a win streak. Nobody knows about it.
They're literally the hot. I mean, Hartford is like the hottest team right now.
Yeah, really. Hartford is amazing. I mean, look at all the great players they have right now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like that one.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
best one.
mean, Tom's just on that team for God's sakes.
Just remember that guy named John Smith. He's on there. He's cool as fuck.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
guy.
I've heard of that guy
Amazing.
named. I heard this goalie Adam Fitzgerald is really good too.
I heard he's cool shit. I heard it.
Too bad he
If
sucks
you
in the
took-
playoffs.
If you took the worst NWHL team and made them play the Sabres, they would win.
I think the freaking high school teams locally and everywhere we are right now, as far as Canada and the US go, I think all the local high school football hockey teams could beat the Buffalo Sabres.
5-year-old Tim Hortons players could beat the Buffalo Sabres.
Bring back the Soviet Union; they'll be fine. They'll be.
I would like to point out. I saw out the what's Lankskinen or something like that.
Right. Okay.
He has more points than Jeff Skinner this season.
That's
Yep.
embarrassing. You know what's even more embarrassing? Rick DiPietro in his first 13 games had the same amount of points as Alex Lafreniere right now does.
Oh God.
Yeah, and actually, I heard today that Pierre-Luc Dubois is on the injury reserve.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Lower body injury.
Yep. And the Nashville Predators are interested in trading away Matthias Ekholm to a cup contender.
Just saying, Hartford is a lot less stressful.
It
Yeah,
is.
for Whalers. No, but in all seriousness, I did consider switching teams, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to stick to what I have and probably just pay less attention to it. I mean, I'll still watch the Sabres here and there, but it'll be stress-free. I won't even care if they trade Eichel at this point.
It's so shitty.
Well, you also said to me in a private conversation that if I did make the move to switch to someone else, then you would lose all the respect from me.
Yeah, exactly. Because you don't be a bandwagoner. Fucking stick with your team.
Well, I mean, I made up my decision, so I'm just going to just stick what I did, and that's just stay put.
Who would you cheer for, though? That's my interesting point.
New Jersey.
Oh my God.
What?
I would. New Jersey.
You'd cheer for New
God.
I would not. I know who I would cheer for if I switched teams.
What? Who?
Montreal.
Oh, okay. All right. Another.
But it's only because of Cole Caulfield. I like Caulfield as a prospect. That's the only reason why.
Yeah, I would say the Devils would probably be the other team for me as far as abandoning the Sabres for would be because I can go right to MSG, right to Penn Station, go up New
But why does it matter how the travel time?
Because
Like I was born and bred in Newfoundland. I never got to see a Toronto game until I was like 14. That didn't change my mind of how far I had to travel to see my team.
Listen, I'm projected to move downtown to South Carolina, and being from 2 hours up north of Charlotte, I could take an easy train ride there, or take an hour ride down to South Florida and go to a game there.
Again, it doesn't matter how far I have to travel for my team. My team is still my team.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know that I just farted. That was breaking news, by the way.
I hope nobody's watching this.
I wish we were live.
Yeah, I know. Except
Why? So everybody hears fucking farts? Who the fuck wants to hear that shit?
I don't know. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, I know. I pissed off Adam at this point.
I mean, it's better than him talking about jerking off TV characters from 70s shows. So
Who, Adam?
Yes.
now you.
I don't talk about characters from the 70s. What are you talking about?
If you watch Dukes of Hazzard, you would know what I'm talking about.
I don't
Yeah.
watch Dukes and
Daisy
Hazzard.
Duke.
Yeah.
Daisy Duke.
Listen, I was born in '98. I still know what the Dukes of Hazzard is.
I know what Dukes and Hazzard is. Never.
Like I grew up with the 70s, 80s.
I don't care what anybody says. Daisy Duke was the hottest chick in the 70s.
Yeah, she was. And then, of course, like you go into the early '80s. I mean, you ever like anyone remember that show, The A-Team?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of shows.
Yeah, look, Bobby's like totally off in space.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea.
How about
what
G.I.
he's
Joe?
talking
You
about.
forgot about G.I. Joe.
I remember that.
What hot chicks were in G.I. Joe?
The Marinus.
I don't know what that is.
What?
That's one of the characters in G.I. Joe. The Marinus was a hot chick in G.I. Joe.
Like cartoon mode or like real life?
Yes, a cartoon. It was a 70s cartoon or 80s
That's not
cartoon.
hot. It's not hot. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know anymore.
No.
And do we have other sports stuff to talk about? We've been talking about sandwiches and hot characters from cartoons. I don't want to.
Although I will say this though, when I did go see Bobby, it'll be 2 years ago in March. That was definitely a fun experience down there, and I did stay down in Merrick. I actually wasn't too far from him. He did take me to that super fry place, which was actually it was good. And although I did get ribbed a little bit by Bobby because I had one of the quiches and not the actual the Sazzini, but it was still really good though. I mean,
I told you to get the Zazzini, but you were so insistent of getting the Knish, and I'm just like, whatever. This,
really good. Beef, onions, and everything.
oh, we're talking about Kevin Lackinen earlier, right? Apparently, he has one more point than Alex Lafreniere.
Wow.
Well, yeah, well, it doesn't help though when your team is
You're the
shit in
goaltender.
bed. So
All right, sports stuff. Let's go. What else?
Tim Tebow retired.
Tim Tebow did
we
retire.
already talked about this. Nobody cares.
Yeah, says the Jays fan.
Oh, dude,
I
my
think
J
every
team's
fan
gonna
doesn't
wreck
care
your fucking
about
Mets
that.
all year long.
Yeah, I know. I'm planning to go to the Mets Jays game this year. Oh, actually, never mind. We actually have some news on the Blue Jays, and that is they are going to be playing their home games this year in Dunedin, Florida.
Oh, right outside of Tampa.
What? They didn't want to come back and play in Buffalo? What was the problem?
I don't know.
It over yet?
Yeah.
I kind of figure like you insult saying it's too cold is like, well. I live in Canada, so it's
Well,
always.
I live in
cold.
New York, so what's the big deal?
I'm just saying it's always cold here too.
Yeah, I was
So.
gonna say it felt like 9 below zero last night, and everything was still fine. So
There was some minus 27 degree wind chill here today, so get fucked.
No,
Well, Canada is much colder on the Canadian border, which is right near Niagara Falls. So of course it's going to make a lot of sense for it to be cold.
Take an ice fishing trip up at Lake Simcoe when you have about 4 feet of ice on the lake and you have like wind chill like 50 below.
Yeah, make sure balls go back to your stomach.
Yeah,
Go
nose
back up
hairs
there.
freeze right when you go out on the ice, and you have to make that 100-yard walk over to the hut.
Walk outside, and as soon as I walk outside, my nose hairs froze, and I'm just like, what's happening?
Yeah, it's been like
And
that when
it's so
I've been around
fucking
that
cold.
lake before.
I mean, my commute for work is from my bed to
Shut
my
up.
desk. So
Although I did have that for about 3 months, but
not all of us get to work from home,
yeah.
and I'm one of those guys that doesn't get to work from home. So
Yep, right now I don't
hey,
either. I have a
all
half-hour
respect
drive.
to you too.
yeah, you know what? I'm providing the power that you like work off every day. So you're welcome.
Yeah, actually, the funny thing is, one of these days I should actually, because I work right in Ryan's neck of the woods. Actually, I literally drive by the airport almost every day. So all these days we'll have to do a nice little grab a beer and meet up somewhere.
Absolutely, I got a place right around the corner.
Yeah, you have a place everywhere.
Yeah.
And Bobby, you have a response to everything. It's even relevant most times.
Well, go. People want to know who you are, so we tell them.
Oh my god!
Nobody gives a shit who I am, Bobby. I'll get that right off the fucking bat. People that know me don't give a shit of who I don't give a shit about who I am.
I'm kind of looking at the fact that Bobby has to like make himself famous, and
well, I'm not that self-famous. I actually don't want to be famous, but I'm too comical for this shit. So let's just put it
You're
that way.
too comical, eh? Are you getting paid to be comical, or?
No, I'm doing this for free. You know that.
Exactly. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, so you sit on your ass for 3 hours with us. You don't get paid either, and you just sit there and you're basically just like high as shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking fun.
Enough money so that I can get a nice car, so that I can drive it down to New Orleans and then drive it back without the fear of dying on the way down.
Are you wearing a hat so we don't hide your monk haircut?
Yeah, that was explained at the start of this like 2 hours ago.
Yes, we already been over this, Bobby.
We've already been at the show about 2 hours now almost.
Got a mushroom haircut, people, for those who missed it.
That's called. It's the first time I've
Bobby
grown my hair out.
Hairline,
Friar Ryan. That's what we should call you, Friar Ryan, or Padre Ryan.
Bobby, you have a receding hairline, so stop talking shit.
Listen, my hair, granted, has not been cut. Like, it hasn't been cut at all in a good month and a half to 2 months. Granted, I could look like the owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, and that would be 100 times worse than the hair that I have right now.
Well, Mark Davis has stupid hair anyway, so.
That's good.
I know.
Although, I gotta say, who had the worst hairstyle as like any sports owner? Like, if we had to like compare.
Tim Tebow.
Sports owner, not player, dude. Owner.
There was another NFL owner. I can't remember. It's not Shad Khan. Shad Khan's hair is kind of weird, but
this is a little crazy. We know Mark Davis is crazy.
Mark Davis's hair, I don't know what that is. It's literally just like the tops, and it's like all shaved underneath, and it's just like a bowl cut.
Are you even sure that's
real? What about the Vancouver Canucks owners? They're pretty fucking greasy.
Well, Francisco Aquilini has the stupidest haircut among everybody in that group.
I don't
know, Bobby. You have a receding hairline, so.
Yeah, coming from. Fingers.
I'm just saying your hands are like little fucking baby hands.
Listen,
I
like my little hands.
All right, Ryan, what'd you find out?
No, I was just gonna say I didn't. I mean, I granted I have small hands. I'm all aware of this. I did an in-person podcast somebody I went to high school with, and I went to go check what some of the comments were up on YouTube, and somebody commented, "Your guest has small hands." And I was like, I replied, and I was like, "Bro, I know, but you don't have to bring it up."
Oh man.
Yeah, you go through some tough shit. You know that?
Well, Bobby, it's the story of your life too, so shut the fuck up.
I mean, here's how I deal with it. I don't have low self-esteem. I have none at all. It's gone. I've gotten rid of it. It does nothing. It doesn't. Nothing affects me anymore. I'm like, all right. I can't find pictures of all the NHL owners.
How about Jim Irsay with the sickest guitar collection?
Jim Irsay is hands down one of the best owners in pro sports.
No, he's not. Stop it.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
I said one of the best. I said one of the best.
He is not.
I didn't put him at like number one.
He's one of the biggest dipshits in the NFL.
Bobby's like, no, he's not. No, he's not.
I don't know what evidence you have to prove that Jim Irsay is a horrible owner.
Andrew Luck's career, telling him that everything he went through as far as recovery is concerned, that it was all in his head. And hiring Ryan Grixon to be the general manager, extending his contract with Chuck Pagano, having a horrible management to go with that. Anything else?
Okay, so
I forgot to tell you the treatment of Peyton Manning.
And hose him down.
Technically, yes, they did.
No, you didn't, Bobby.
I don't know.
Joke, obviously.
Peyton Manning had more control than the head coach and the GM of that team.
Yeah, and he did not have more say than Jim Irsay did. Jim Irsay is a dipshit owner.
He absolutely. Well, Jim Irsay doesn't really involve himself that much in.
Well, he's also a drunk. He's also a drunk.
Oh my God, Bobby!
Doesn't have to do with anything.
Critical people.
Although this will be fun though, like we could always have that ownership conversation and bring Trevor on here who loves the Colts.
He'll say that.
He'll say.
I also love the Colts. That's what I'm saying. I also love the Colts. That's what I'm saying though. Like Peyton Manning had absolute control over that Colts team and absolute control over that Denver team. I'm interested to like hear actual, like, okay, yeah, he did bad GM hires for that one GM, but like now they have one of the best GMs in the NFL.
Yeah, because so what? Just because you have Chris Ballard as a GM doesn't make you a great owner. Okay, that's fine. You have one of the best players in the NHL. Doesn't mean you're a great owner.
Oh, he's a good dude. I mean, everybody always has something nice to say about him. I've never heard anybody say anything negative about him.
Those people are idiots. Jim Irsay has done more damage to the Indianapolis Colts than Jerry Jones has done in the last 3 years with the Dallas Cowboys.
You just called Pat McAfee and Peyton Manning and literally everybody that's ever.
I wasn't saying Pat McAfee. I said Jim Irsay. I'm not talking about Pat McAfee.
Hold on. You didn't. No. You didn't let me finish what I said. You just said anybody that says that is an idiot, and I said you just called Pat McAfee, Peyton Manning, and anybody that's ever played for the Colts an idiot.
Pat. And you want to understand where horses come from, right?
We're not having this discussion about the glue factory again.
Yeah,
Pat McAfee retired because he was sick and tired of rehabbing his knees.
Exactly. And Jim Irsay did absolutely nothing to help him with that. Same thing with Andrew Luck.
What is the owner supposed to do to help the punter with his
Invest
knees?
money, protect your players. This is what owners in any sport do.
What does that have to do? It's because of the kicking motion.
Dude, he's a punter. He sits on his ass for the majority of the game. All he has to do, Ryan, is this. That's all he does.
Oh, right, yeah, stand 20 yards back with a long snap.
You raised your leg like 1/4 of the way that punters and kickers have to raise their legs to get these kicks off. That's a massive amount of power.
Well, I'm sorry that there's a chair, a calendar, and a wall, and a Francisco Lindor jersey in the corner of my pajama pants.
That's his challenge. He has to kick perfect balls, perfect NFL regulation balls through uprights, and it has to be on video. That's his challenge.
All right.
5 of them.
All I seen was Bobby's vagina. That's all I seen.
That's the challenge. Because I want to see this. I want to see this.
And use any field that you want. It doesn't matter if it's like a turf field or regular grass. Just gotta do 5 of them.
All I'm saying is that Pat McAfee was a punter and did nothing else. The guy was a Pro Bowler, and he retired after being on the team for like 4 or 5 years.
He was one of the best punters that's been in the league in the last 20
You mean
years.
9 years? He played 9 years in the league.
Bobby, you talk a lot of shit for someone that can't raise their leg above
That's
their
also yeah, you're right. He was a Pro Bowler. He also played in he kicked off a Super Bowl.
Oh my!
He's a Pro Bowler.
He didn't win anything with that. It's the same thing with the 2007 Patriots. They went 18-0 and lost 1 game to the Giants.
Hey, Bobby, by the way, how many Super Bowls do you have?
Yeah, how many do you have?
Like 0, but I don't pretend like I act like I know everything about football.
I know. I'm not asking you.
Football.
Yeah, I know. The Bills don't have any, but if we're counting...
No, I'm talking about you, dipshit.
Me, you don't have any either.
No, exactly. So what are you talking shit?
A fan, and I
So
just so happen.
you're a couch fan. You're a couch GM.
I think we're all couch GMs.
No, you're
Yeah, but I gave
GM
legitimate evidence as to why Jim Irsay's not a bad owner, and you were just like, well, he's a bad owner.
I didn't say he was a bad owner. I just listed everything. I just said that he was a bad owner. I literally just explained it to you.
Yeah, but I asked for an actual explanation because it didn't. You just went like, well, he's a drunk.
He doesn't have one. He doesn't have one.
I did. Well, why did Andrew Luck retire early when he was in the peak of his prime? Why did Pat McAfee retire within the peak of his prime? Why did they give
those questions?
Right.
I love how Thomas is like, holy dude, you're frying my head.
Well, I mean, everyone remembers what happened with Luck. I mean, he sat out almost 2 years because of the fact that his shoulder was all screwed up and they had no.
Oh yeah,
I just want to point out. I called Andrew Luck's retirement a week and a half before he retired, and the Colts fans absolutely shredded me for it. And I was absolutely right. Listen, I am not one to normally gloat about myself. I mean, like you said, this is the first time I've actually been gloat about myself, but I was right about the NFL MVP conversation. Nobody wants to fucking talk about that. Patrick Mahomes was 3rd on the goddamn list.
right.
In votes. Right. I was right about the NFL MVP conversation. I'm right about the Sabres and Jack Eichel. I was right about fucking what's his face retiring. The reason that Pat McAfee and the reason that Andrew Luck both retired is because rehab is a bitch, and neither one of them wanted to do it anymore.
Exactly, because Indianapolis is an incompetent shit show.
It has nothing to do with it.
Hey,
It has everything to do with it takes a shit ton of energy.
I don't know how depressing this is for Andrew Luck. The fact that he had to go over to Europe just to save his career, and you're telling me that Jim Irsay, of all fucking people, is literally a great owner and just him everything your head, it's all in your imagination. You're telling me that's a good owner?
Hey, GM Bobby.
What?
I just wonder how much you make a year.
More than probably them.
No, I kind of feel like GM Bobby is. No, I wouldn't hire you.
You wouldn't hire me.
No, not a fucking chance.
I have 14 consecutive I have 14 Super Bowl wins in Madden with 2 different teams. So
there you go.
Yeah, what do you do?
I'd hire him over you.
I have a better idea.
And the Colts, by the way.
I have a better idea. What do you do after you turn? What do you do after you win those championships? You turn off your Xbox and you go to bed.
Actually, what I do is after I win those championships, I go re-sign my guys. I go into free agency. I do the draft.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? You know what I do, Bobby? All I do is.
If you're not first, you're last.
Yeah.
There you go.
Ricky Bobby.
Yep.
Ricky Bobby.
Oh,
Yeah.
Obviously, that's not like I'm not comparing Madden to whatever, but like.
Right. Right.
No. You just compared Madden to Ricky Bobby. You're not.
I know.
first,
I'm saying I'm not comparing Madden to like running an actual NFL franchise.
Right. Yeah, everybody's got to watch that movie Daytona Nights at least once.
Yeah, Ricky Bobby. You're not first. You're last.
Yep. Oh man.
Oh, by the way,
Wait,
Fernando
wait.
Tatis' contract will pay him $168.98 million after taxes.
Oh, you know what? No, nobody's responding because nobody gives a fuck.
Well, maybe because he has such a large contract, they still have to just put up the math.
An hour one day, I was like, I'm gonna
Well,
get into
let me ask you this:
and then
what
after
team were
60
you
minutes,
watching? What team were you watching at that point?
I wasn't watching a team. It was like 2 months ago that I was like, I'm gonna try to get into baseball this season.
Well,
And
it
then
all starts with a team. That's all it really starts with. It's just,
Well, I picked Toronto because it was close.
You're
I
an
liked the
idiot.
colors.
Why would you pick Toronto?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, boy.
and then what I did was I turned on the Wii for the first time in like 15 years. Tried to play baseball, got 3 innings into it because that's all there is for the game, and I was like, I can't do another fucking 7 of these. I'm done. This is ridiculous. Every goddamn ball was a foul ball.
It's baseball. It's the Wii. Do you not hear yourself?
It's ridiculous.
Wii Sports. Come on, man. Come on.
No different than actual baseball. Just
Oh, come
Hey,
on.
Bobby, just
You know what? If time this year, I will take him to a Mets game in the front row seats or anywhere in the best seating of the house for a Mets game. Nighttime.
Oh,
What do you
Bobby's
think?
throwing money out.
I get 4 weeks of PTO, homie. Pick a time and a place.
Okay, fine. Let's do it right now.
Oh, he's actually doing it.
I have one response. I have one response to a Mets game. Oh
But you
god.
don't actually pick a time and a place because my car will not make it out of
he's
like
got
an
it up
hour
already.
outside of Buffalo.
I got it right here. Anyway, so when are you coming to Long Island, supposedly?
Bro, it's February 17th.
I don't give a fuck. Just answer the question. When are you
I
supposed to
have
come?
no idea.
Why not?
Sometime between when the current snow thaws out and like 2022 starts. My answer to you is sometime between this end of snow and the next snow.
Well, that's not really helping. I have a better idea. Because you
Kind of the point.
All right, here I have a better idea. Let's do this. Let's do this just for the sake of it. Let's do June 12th, which is a Saturday, against the San Diego Padres. And you can see Francisco Lindor and Fernando Tatis Jr., 2 of the best shortstops in baseball. What do you say?
Did you not hear the part where I said I don't know when I'm going
You can't
to
guarantee
be
you
off
a time to come there, Bobby. Jesus
that my
Christ.
car won't make it an hour outside of the city?
Don't fly then. Fly. Very simple.
Why would I spend? A, I don't like flying.
Actually, it
Why?
actually
It's
wasn't
a
that
war
Why
bad.
away
against
home?
gravity.
I
B,
will- I will
why would
say-
I spend a couple $100s on a flight that's going to take me 43 minutes?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
did that.
Compares to 6
I
hours.
spent less than $200 to fly into Terminal 5 at JFK on JetBlue.
That I did hit a car on the tracks.
That doesn't
but
count. Go on the fucking. No,
that doesn't
that's a
count.
ferry. That's a ferry.
It certainly counts for the guy that was in the car.
Yeah,
What are you doing? What are you
Car
doing?
does not
Flying
survive
from
train
New York to
very
Massachusetts, and you just go beep.
Tom, he didn't survive.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, he's gone.
You get crushed by a train. Of course.
He's
you're-
terminally. I guess he was this guy. He was like late for work or something. He's terminally late for work now. He's good. That was a good 7 years ago. That man is 7 years late for.
You know
his-
what? No, Ryan, I have a better idea. How about this one? How about we do August 14th at 7:10 against the Dodgers? What do you say?
Same response that I had
Although,
5 minutes
I
ago.
will say this.
Listen. I'm down. I'm down with the idea.
I will say, throw
not against it. I'm just saying I don't have it in the actual date and time. You got to remember, I did just start this job.
That's
This
great.
is my first year. I got to make myself look good. before I can start slacking off and taking time to drive down to Long Island. And if any of my bosses are watching this, absolutely
about
do
you?
not want to slack off.
Tom, what about you? Would you be willing to drive down to Long Island in the summer?
I will have to see what my schedule's going to be, but I wouldn't mind going down there again.
Well, I would love to take you to a Mets game, as I have been saying for a while that I should be taking you.
Right. No, I know.
I think I broke Adam.
Hey, we'll both go down.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, there we go. So how about this? Let's take a road trip while we're on the show because we're still recording. Why don't we do this? I'm thinking maybe June or July or even August because usually baseball in the summer in New York is glorious. I can tell you that for a fact.
I can tell you first you know that's usually when I do something for Sea Cadets. We have a training.
Wait, what? August you said?
The last week of July, first week of August, I wouldn't be able to come down. I'm probably again contingent on COVID.
Okay, fair enough. So there's plenty of options. So in June, all the home opponents are the Padres, the Cubs, the Braves, the Phillies, and in July is the Brewers, the Pirates, the Blue Jays, the Braves, and the Reds.
I think a Cubs game would be cool.
You want to go to a Cubs game?
I don't know. Tom's over here falling asleep. Pick something.
No, I'm just trying to think of what my schedule's going to be.
Where did our Canadian go?
Our Canadian is mentally broken at the moment. His eyes broken. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, though,
The Sabres suck. Support Hartford. Best team in the NHL right now.
I gotta say though, man, this was your coming out. This was your big coming out show in the fact that you were probably the most animated we've ever seen today. That was pretty sweet.
Well, I typically try to avoid any conversations or comments which may or may not get me fired from my job.
Of course.
So basically anything that comes out of Bobby's mouth, I don't know which way I'm pointing because my camera's inverted. But basically anything Bobby says, I try to stay away from for the fear that I may get fired from my job.
Oh, come on. I'm not going to do that to you, man. Come on.
It's not your control. You are not my boss. So, but I do enjoy talking with you guys as much as possible. And I'm going to try to get on more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now that I'm set. And let
We're after the show. Don't go anywhere after the show. But anyway.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what we'll see you next week. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll go ahead and we'll roll those next little credits that we pay everybody off for us.